Kajeno Mzansi Insider in the office. Could you get fired for not owning up to your mistakes?
Don't try and cover up, because if you cover up, it becomes worse for you.
At the age of 13, Lerato Makeneke was already an alcoholic.
Now you want to be alone. You get greedy and you don't want to share this alcohol and you want to drink alone.
What power do words have over the way we see ourselves?
Words are seeds, and an unplanted seed does not have a harvest.
And why is DJ Sbu not bothered by haters?
I'm a leader, so I don't feel anyhow. So what people say or do, they're reacting to what I've done.
Linda gives us some life lessons on trust. This and more on Mzansi Insider.
Homie, don't worry, hold up. Don't gossiping off. Dishing out the truth, so start tuning in. Can't tolagale. Come get skata olewale. Social issues, dish so easily. Giving you the latest news so instantly. Gender we tighter. Keep the channel locked on Mzansi Insider.
Kantiwe nungubani bengithiki mungumngani kodwa uhleka njalo mina mangisenkingeni hey ungubani bengithiki mungumngani kodwa uhleka njalo mina mangisenkingeni uhleka kuvela lomhlathi izinyo kucishe kuvele lenhliziyo emlonyeni wena uhleka kuvele lomhlathi izinyo kucishe kuvele lenhliziyo emlonyeni ungubani bengithiki mungumngani uhleka njalo mina mangisenkingeni hey ungubani bengithiki mungumngani uhleka njalo mina mangisenkingeni wena uhleka kuvela lomhlathi izinyo kucishe kuvele nenhliziyo emlonyeni uhleka kuvele lomhlathi izinyo kucishe kuvele nenhliziyo emlonyeni wena qaphela ukuthi uzwana nobani qaphela ukuthi ubani umngani qaphela ukuthi uzwana nobani qaphela ukuthi ubani umngani ixesha lide ngithi ungumngani wami kanti uyisitha sami hey wena ungitsheli uyangikhohlisa wena ungabe umthemba umuntu yeyo ingozi umuntu kungcono uthemba itshe kunokwethemba umuntu qaphela ukuthi uzwana nobani qaphela ukuthi ubani umngani uyimpisi wena umbethe isikhumba semvu uzongilimaza uzongilimaza umuntu qaphela umuntu qaphela uyajika qaphela ukuthi uzwana nobani qaphela ukuthi ubani umngani qaphela uzwana nobani qaphela ubani umngani wakho.
Oh man, I'm wearing the shades because the future seems so bright over here. I had to use that line. Welcome to the show. I'm going to take it off now and stop joking around. What a beautiful way to open up the show. Wow, man. And your whole swag.
Regalia.
Come on, Regalia. Regalia. Tell us a little bit about the song that you just performed for us.
It's called Kapela. It's simply a song that warns everybody. Uguti, you must be careful, Uguti, who do you trust? Like, you must never give your 100% trust to a human being.
Yeah.
Because today you are friends, tomorrow,
Yeah.
you know, and then we've all been betrayed somehow by
Yeah.
Abangani family. So this song just talks about betrayal. People that
Yeah.
you've trusted and then they've turned their backs on you.
Yeah.
Now, let's speak about if there's an album out.
Yes, the album is out. Go now on Kama Music Stores. It's available. Titled Language of Love. The artist Ulinda. My name is Ulinda Kwenza, but the stage name is just Ulinda. So
Ulinda.
if you go to a music shop, you look for Ulinda. The album is Language of Love. Beautiful album.
So it's an album about love, for love.
Like 90% about love.
Yes.
Yes.
I heard you call yourself Ukumkani in the song. That means king, right? Ukumkani.
In the song.
Yes.
No.
Oh, I
don't
probably
think
heard
it's the
something
song.
else. I thought I was.
Maybe it's
I thought
another
that-
song.
We're
Listening to that same song.
I was. Okay, cool. I'm going to keep quiet. My class is
She
not that
thinks
great.
you're a gumkani, so I think you can take that as a compliment. Thank you so much for joining us.
I
It's
want
those
to like
sunglasses,
disappear and just go. Anyway, we're going to start the show. Thank you so much for choosing us on this beautiful Sunday morning. I don't even know what I want to say to redeem myself. Maybe all I could do is say, check out the show lined up. Oh, my word. Kumkani versus no Kumkani. How do we come back when you've made a mistake at work?
How serious the mistake is. If it is too serious, the employer will have to let you go.
What drove you to start drinking?
There were deeper underlying issues that I had in life. You know, I had low self-esteem, peer pressure. I thought that I fitted in, but I was actually destroying my own life.
We're talking our relationship with words.
Words are seeds, and an unplanted seed does not have a harvest. If you don't say it, it doesn't come to pass.
Now, with success definitely comes a lot of haters.
I'm a leader, so I don't feel anyhow. So what people say or do, they're reacting to what I've done.
Keep the channel locked on Mzansi Insider. You know what it is, Mzansi Insider.
Welcome back, Mona Mzansi Insider. We're about to get into a very interesting conversation. Everyone out there possible seeing how to. Have you ever made a mistake at work and didn't know how to like
I think
maneuver?
we say the wrong things all the time
Yeah.
at work, so our mistakes are different to others.
Other people, ne? I had like a mistake a week ago.
You had a mistake at the top of this show.
Oh wow! Oh yes, I did.
Kumkan.
I did. Kumkan. Nonetheless, I accept. So today we'll work out on our head. So the possibility and how we come out of those. And all the way from CCMA, Uteng Hape, Dadim Duduzi Kumalo, joining us. No stranger here.
Yeah.
How are you?
Becoming a resident.
You're becoming a resident. And when you're gone, we miss you. Thank you so much for coming through to
I
talk to us.
miss you too, guys.
We're talking about mistakes. We're talking about mistakes. How do we come back when you've made a mistake at work? Do you shy away from it and pretend like it never happened and cross your toes and fingers and hope that they didn't realize? How are we supposed to approach it?
That it is not discovered. That would be the biggest mistake you will make. If you allow it to go without you reporting it yourself, then and the employer discovers it, then you're in big trouble.
Yeah.
So technically, Melus Baisi.
Yeah. Actually, there is a fiduciary duty that when, as an employee, you have with your employer. If you see your colleague doing something wrong,
Yeah.
you have a duty to report that to the employer.
But what if you're not trying to be a snitch?
So it's worse when it's you. Because you need to go
okay.
there yourself and say, employer, I have messed up.
Yeah.
Yes, this is what I have done. And the employer does not have to spend money investigating who did this and how it was done. And maybe you might be forgiven. But if you don't report it, it becomes worse.
Does you apologizing and owning up to the mistake, even if let's say something that big that you had to be let go, like somebody says, okay, sorry, it's too big of a thing, you have to go. Does it better your chances of getting your next job as opposed to you being fired because you made a mistake and then you kept quiet and then you lied about it?
Well, it depends, honestly, how serious the mistake is. If it is too serious, the employer will have to let you go because there are policies in each and every company. And depending on the graveness of that mistake, the employer may have to let you go. And if you go to the next job interview and you tell upfront that, look, this is what I've done in my previous job. I told my boss, and unfortunately, we could not reconcile after that. You might be seen as a person who's honest, because honesty is the cornerstone of any employment relationship. If there is no honesty, there's no trust, and if there's no trust, you can't employ such a person.
You really are not working.
Can we say, is it a good idea, ukuthi like mawenze inkinga emsebenzini? You try fix it first, bese mawuhluleka, then you tell your employer, because sometimes you can avoid ukuzibhayisa.
You should not try.
You shouldn't?
No, go to the employer and say, this is the mistake I've made, and this is the suggestion I have to fix the mistake. Better that way. Don't try and cover up, because if you cover up, it becomes worse for you.
Okay. I had a share a situation in more an honest mistake. And now you're in trouble and you're trying to keep your job. What do you guys do to come in to assist such a process?
Umthetho wethu, it's very flexible. Uyazama ukuthi accommodate inkinga yakho, even if at times it's very serious, because what umthetho says, we need to look at not only the seriousness of iland le phutha ulenzile, we also need to look at the vulnerability nama reasons ukuthi why ugcine wenza leyo mistake oyenzile, and whether you can be rehabilitated ukuthi ukwazi ukuthi ube umuntu ongcono
with your work.
Yeah.
Obviously, kunama level kulezinto ezinye inkinga ozenzayo aren't that big, but it can get you into trouble. Kodwa khona ezinye ezinkulu. What are some of the biggest mess ups that someone can do at work?
It's when maybe you're working with the employer's money and somewhere you short this month, your debits, your debits are not covered. You simply say, I will replace, or maybe usebenza ngelento petty cash. Hey, I don't have money for transport today. Maybe I can take 20 rand and I'll bring it back next week. Yes, it's a dismissible offense.
Wow. Okay. Let's talk about things that we should look out for in our contracts when it comes to mistakes. Because I think a lot of us, you genuinely make a mistake and you don't think it's a big deal, but you don't. What are some of the things we should do when we start a new job and we get that contract? What are the things that you should look out for?
The first thing that we all encourage people ukuthi bayenze, funda i-contract yakho, take it home, ucele somebody mhlambe onolwazi ngokozomthetho ukuthi akufundele, or maybe take it to any, even Department of Labor too, ukuthi bakufundele ukuthi does this contract cover you and does it have your best interest, and uma ngabe unama suggestion, make them before you sign the contract ukuthi ashintshe lokhu nalokhu, because maybe I might not be able to meet these other terms of the contract.
Yeah.
Nakhona ukuza CCMA ngizolwa ukuthi bangixoshele mistake.
Abantu bayeza every day. Athi ngixoshelwe mistake, and yebo mistake ngiyenzile, but bengingacabanga ukuthi it can lead to a dismissal.
Yeah.
I believe dismissal was too harsh a sanction. So in that case, we'll only focus kule ndaba ye-sanction ukuthi bekufanele na ukuthi uxoshwe noma mhlambe there was a better way of addressing le nkinga le.
So ningena go to check the degree whether or not the result was as it makes sense to whatever the offense. What happens when you take money or you make a mistake? Okay, this is probably a very bad example. I remember I was a waitress and they would say, if you lose the steak knives, it's coming out of all of your salaries. And they usually did that. Is there a law like where if you make a mistake and somebody says it's coming out of your salary? Or is that something we should have seen in our contract even before we signed it?
Yeah, if usebenza kwemanyaman industries, that would be in your contract. But umthetho to protect your basic condition of employment act, it abakwazi ukudonsa imali engaphezulu kwe-25% of your salary.
Oh, okay. So it could be below. Yeah, I was hoping he was going to say 25 rand. 25% of your salary. Your advice to everybody, buy 17 and take the little things for granted. You're not doing Toronto, your palama kapo. If I just arrived 10 minutes late, what is your advice to them?
Actually, late coming, it's a very serious problem because people are forever late for this or that reason. So I think if first day you figure late, it's understandable. But when you come late 3 times in a week, access you late. You're changing the terms. No, you're changing the terms and condition of the contract. If you sign a contract that you start at 8, you continuously arriving at 8:15. So the contract will eventually mean that your job starts at 8:15 or 8:20.
So it's the little things.
Those little things. That 20 rand, you say, I will replace it when I come back tomorrow. No, don't do it.
Don't do it. Yeah, straight and simple. Thank you so much. And just remind us again that whether big or small, you need to own up to your mistakes and more importantly, avoid them. Avoid them by all costs.
Don't think I have a solution. I will address it first and then I'll go and tell them. You might get...
That's what I was trying to do. No, you sneaky and solve it.
Prevention is better than treatment.
Thank you guys.
Thank you.
Okay.
Lerato shares with us his alcohol addiction.
Why we drink, or we're trying to escape reality, we're trying to escape life.
Keep the channel locked on Mzansi Insider. You know what it is, Mzansi Insider.
It's everywhere and it's a part of our daily lives. This seamlessly recreational thing can for most quickly become a problem and affect their lives in a bad way. On today's I Got Over It, we speak to 25-year-old Lerato Makenete, who has chosen to live life sober. In 2012, a study by SA Breweries and SA Department of Health revealed that 1 in every 2 of South Africa's youth were alcohol consumers. A shocking statistic given, alcohol-related illnesses continue to rise, not forgetting the physical and psychological damage that can occur with alcohol. Today, we get inspired by an insider who's gotten over where many have failed.
Just heard a little bit of your story now. When did you start drinking?
At the age of 13.
Wow. So what drove you to start drinking?
There were deeper underlying issues that I had in life. I had low self-esteem. I lacked confidence. I wasn't too happy about myself or about my life. When I was in grade 1, I had a car accident, as you can see the score here. So that impacted me and how I see myself, and that lack of confidence drove me to want to belong, to want to be accepted. And that started the whole show.
Yeah. Now that you look back at it, do you feel that alcohol did fill that void? Do you feel like you did fit in?
I thought that I fitted in, but I was actually destroying my own life. I made a lot of bad decisions, the way I hurt my mother, the way I hurt my family, the pain I put them through, she was always getting called from work, come fetch your son, and there was a lot of issues, know. And I was always kicked out of class. I failed grade 8. I got kicked out of school. I had to get sent to a boarding school. And you would think that someone that's been through all of this would stop.
Yeah.
But I did not stop. I continue doing this. It was something you do when schools are closed, and then from there it moves to school holidays to Friday and Saturday. It moves school holidays, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. School holidays, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, after school. Before you know it, it's school time. And, you know, eventually the friends go away as well because now you want to be alone. You get greedy and you don't want to share this alcohol and you want to drink alone. So you start pushing people away, you start isolating, and you just want to be alone and enjoy this alcohol, and you sit in your own misery and you feel sorry for yourself, and that's where it got to that stage. And it got to that stage very quickly. The fun went away. You know, the friends went away, and it just became a big issue. I could not do my schoolwork. My homework was never done. I was always in the office or suspended. There was always a lot of issues.
Yeah.
So what was this moment that changed it all for you? When did you realize that you've hit rock bottom?
You know, it was after high school. I matriculated and I was doing my first year studying human resources. And I remember how I would sit in class and my social skills got so bad, I just could not hold conversations with people. I became very antisocial. And I remember my friends were playing soccer by the park, and I walked right past them because I was drunk. And I did not want them to interfere with my alcohol or anything like that. I just wanted to be alone because I knew I'd have to share if I'm with them. But while I was walking, something just hit me. And I just said, you know what, I cannot live like this anymore. You know, something's got to change. I cannot live life like this anymore. And I remember calling my sister, saying, you know what, I have a problem and I need help.
Wow.
And then that's where the whole journey started with me.
Okay, cool. Let's speak a little bit about the journey. What had to immediately change?
You know, I'll tell you the truth about life, and I'll tell you the truth about the human race. We are afraid of reality. And why we drink, or we're trying to escape reality, we're trying to escape life, we're trying to escape what's right in front of us. We do not like the reality that's present, so we try to drink so we can escape it and not think about our problems.
Yeah.
So the first decision I remember that thought came into my mind. The thought was, when something bad happens, if hardship or difficulty or rejection or disappointment comes, how are you going to deal with that since you're not going to be drinking? And I made that decision. I said, you know what? We'll take it as it comes. Let's just do this thing one day at a time.
Yeah.
If I don't like the fact that that vessel is there, and I drink, and I get drunk and I fall asleep, that vessel is still there.
Yeah.
It hasn't moved. But if I'm sober, I can do something about removing it there. You know, so that's the skills that I had to teach myself, that if I'm sober, I can get through life and I can solve issues, you know.
So how long have you not been drinking for?
5 years now.
Wow.
Nice.
That's amazing.
Congratulations. Congratulations.
Now, when you think back to all those years that you were drinking, does it hurt you? Do you feel like you wasted time? Do you regret it?
I do. You know, I'll be very honest with you. Like I said, I had a low self-esteem. And, you know, at school there was these guys that played rugby and they played sports, and, you know, there were prefects and they had, you know, like the badges for distinctions.
Ratings on the side.
And I was very jealous because I felt like I'm not good enough. And I looked down upon myself saying, you know, I should be one of these guys. But I did not put in the effort. I did not put in the hard work. You know, every day I went home after school, I would drop my bag there. And I would leave the house. The next time I'll pick up that school bag is tomorrow morning to get to school. And in the morning I have to even wear that other shoe. It's not even polished, and, you know, that was me. But they were the guys that sat at home, did their homework, went to practices, they showed up for life. I didn't show up. I decided to run away. You know? So I think, had I known that, that's what I would have done differently. I would have shown up for life like they did. You know? So that's the part that I regret, the fact that I did not show up. And now that I'm sober these 5 years, I've shown up for everything. You know?
This is not something that doesn't happen. I mean, there are many alcoholic teens who are experimenting with alcohol and trying it out. What would your advice be to them?
You know, when I was in high school, and I think we can all say that, everybody after high school, in high school you get so short-sighted. The only thing you see is high school.
True.
What I would say to the high school is, the friends do go away, you know. You guys can be homeboys, you can be best friends, but one day he's gonna go live his life, he's gonna go live his life, and you guys are going to separate. Life does that to you, even if you take an oath to say best friends forever, BFF, but there will come a time where you guys go your separate ways, you know. Think long term. Do not think short term.
Yeah.
You know, treat life like a long-term investment. Think you're going to be 40, you're going to be 30. You only have one body. And if you destroy this body, you do not have another body. You cannot go to a shop and buy another body. If you destroy it, that's it. Same thing with your brain, you know, and all these things, you know, the fights that come with drinking in these parties and all that stuff.
Yeah.
One day that you have to pay a price for these things. So I'd say don't do it. Cut it now. And these things have consequences. So do not make that decision. If people say you're boring, you're not popular, you don't fit in, for now, endure that.
Yeah.
I teach every teenager, learn the virtues of endurance and perseverance.
Yeah.
Let them talk, let them say whatever you want to say. At the end, the victory goes to the guy that endures. So if you're willing to not fit in, to be not popular, to pay the price later on in life, you will reap the best rewards ever.
I absolutely love that. Thank you so much for coming through. What a refreshing time. Like, it was absolutely a pleasure listening to your story.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, show up for life. That's what he said, Killer Rato, and he's just sharing his story. And I hope that you at home are inspired and just focus on the things that you have to focus on. Show up for life. I loved that.
Absolutely. A music video coming up.
How does your relationship with words determine your quality of life?
What you think is what goes into your heart. You speak based on what you've loaded into your system.
You know what it is, Mzansi Insider.
What's the last thing that was said to you? And what's the last word you said to yourself to describe you? Well, today we talk about the relationship we have with words and what do you get told and how does it affect you subconsciously or consciously? To help us unpack this, Dr. Richie joins us. Welcome, Dr. Richie. Yet again, what an honor to chill with you.
Thank you, sir. It's a privilege to be here with you today again.
So now we're talking our relationship with words. Take me through this.
Well, if we start, everything started with a word. The scripture said, in the beginning, God said, word is creative. And Jesus one day said, the word I speak to you is life. The book of Proverbs, it says that the power of the word is life and death. In fact, if I put it this way, words are seeds. And an unplanted seed does not have a harvest. If you don't say it, it doesn't come to pass. But if you keep saying it, it is a seed you are sowing, and you are entitled to a harvest. Everything about your life is a secondary consequence of what you've been saying. And there are two dimensions of what you are saying. What you are saying to yourself and what you are confessing verbally. Those are the dimensions I can start with.
Okay. So, obviously, thoughts will obviously be triggered by things that are said. But now when things happen subconsciously, that's the stuff that we're not even registering and thinking consciously.
Yeah, you are thinking because things do not register subconsciously until the conscious have accepted it and settled it. You see, when you keep hearing it, that's why the scripture says that faith comes by hearing. It is what you're hearing that begins to trigger into your subconsciousness, because subconsciousness works on programming. For instance, this is the studio where you do your program. The first time I was asked to come to this place, I used the GPS to get here. And because I didn't know how to get here. And then I had something doing in the neighborhood another time in this place. But today, because I've been here once, 2, 3 times in this neighborhood, but today as I was coming, I was not thinking about how to come here, because all the while I was trying to learn how to come here, I was trying to learn consciously, but it was registering in my subconsciousness. So now my subconsciousness was driving me. All I know was I parked in front of this place. That's how it works.
So ultimately, can we control these thoughts?
You can control by what you feed your mindset. For instance, what this program is doing is to feed mindset of people. So it changes what they think, because what you think is what goes into your heart, because out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth will speak. You speak based on what you've loaded into your system. For instance, if all the program you watch on TV are craps, over time you will think like what you have been watching. Remember, there are songs that you can't even remember how you started singing, but you're driving, you start singing.
True.
They were registered in your subconsciousness. It's been in your heart. So out of the abundance of the heart, you start speaking.
So I've got a few words that I'm going to throw your way and tell me what this triggers with the person, you know? And you're going to give me your subconsciously conscious reactions, you know what I'm saying? You think that you are better than everybody else.
Well, somebody can say that to you based on where they are from and where they are and what you've made them to cause them to say that. It is not the snake poison it's not the snake bite that kills, it's the poison. It is not what was said to you that destroy you. It is what you say to yourself after the person has gone that destroy you. So you can say to me, you think I'm better than you. It depends on what you are saying about you. I don't need your validation to determine who I am. Because the last time I checked, you didn't create me. I brought myself working hard to where I am. So how you feel about me, actually you can take a lemon juice bath, it is your problem. If I let you, your word, your low self-esteem and your limited imagination walk into my space, I've guaranteed you to rule my life. I protect my territory by what I keep saying to myself. And sometimes, watch this, your friends have not given you the permission to succeed.
Whoa.
So they gotta tell you things so that you can return to where they used to know you. They said, is it not Jesus, the son of a carpenter? We know him. Because people don't want to believe you've moved up. That is the mindset that is called the crab mindset. When you put a bunch of crabs into something like this, in a hole, they're all quiet. But as soon as one crab want to go out, the rest of the crabs will go out to pull it down. Absolutely. It is pull down syndrome language. That's how I define it.
How do we get our minds to a point where we are consciously feeding our subconscious?
You get educated. No country, no individual will rise without education. Absolutely. You've got to educate your mind to where you're going. You cannot want to go to Cape Town and you pack and prepare with things that take you to Durban. It's not going to work. You've got to educate your mind in the direction of where you're going. And how do you educate your subconsciousness? Check the 5 friends close to you. They actually indicate the kind of person that you are. So if you want to grow and you put around you people that are like you're going to end up being the same for a long time. So if you want to change how you think on the inside, put people around you that are better than you, that makes you feel like you've not started yet. You need to grow and be better than this. And if you are the smartest in your group, it's time to go to the next group. You've outgrown that group. How do you educate your subconscious mind? The best thing to do is get educated in the area that you want to go.
I love that. There's another term that I want to throw at you, because these are words, you know, and
I hear you.
The most interesting thing about the conversation that we're having is realizing that something so simple, like words put together, can actually affect your entire being. There's a new one. You and I are definitely not it. And that's yellow bone.
Yes.
What does that do? Because I think it doesn't just affect the people that they're speaking to, it affects everybody else. So how do you feel about that?
Well, I still say, like I said before, it all comes down to, have you defined who you are? Who are you when nobody's watching? What makes you who you are? What are your values? What are your beliefs? What are the things that are important to you? What wakes you up in the morning? The fact that somebody's saying yellow bone, black bone, it is their own worldview. Blessed are blessed, and it is somebody's worldview. You are not permitted to be everybody. You are permitted to be who you are. The definition people give to things, until you give it permission, cannot run your life. You decide where it's going to come to.
How do we block this out?
Change who you stick around with. Change what you watch and what you listen to.
So that it's not around you.
No, yes, sir. I cannot. Look, let me give you an example. You're going to watch this now. Pink elephant.
Doesn't.
Pink elephant. In the next 5 minutes, whether you like it or not, you imagine what is pink elephant like. What I've done is I've sown something in your mind. If you keep thinking about it, it starts going deep, 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 deep. So you say it, pink elephant. Pff, I get something else, and I say to myself, that picture blocks itself away from me.
Nice. You know what? I have a lot to learn from you, Dr. Richie. Unfortunately, we've run out of time. Thank you so much for joining us
and
sir. Enlightening us about the war of words.
And before I started coaching top executives, I always say to myself, I coach top executives. I coach top executives. Today, that's what I do around the world. I coach top executives.
Nice.
Keep saying it, believe in it, and work towards it. You will get there.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
A musician, a businessman, a radio DJ. Oh, can we keep up with DJ Sbu's success?
I'm a leader, so I don't feel anyhow. So what people say or do, they're reacting to what I've done.
Keep the channel locked on Mzansi Insider. You know what it is, Mzansi Insider.
Our next power person is the poster boy for every street hustler. He's reinvented himself more times than most. Welcome back. Check this out.
Love him or hate him, this guy has a great story to tell. From radio to television to music, books, drinks, and philanthropy. His success and failures have inspired a generation. Known as the ghetto hustler and corporate slayer, Sbu Leope is our power person.
No stranger to the show, an all-round inspirational South Africa. None other than DJ Sbu is joining us today on Power Person. Sbuda.
How you doing, Kes?
Fantastic, brother.
Nice to see you, man.
Thank you so much for always blessing us with your presence on the Mzansi Insider.
Thank you, it's home.
So this part of the show is called Power Person, and we speaking to you because you are an all-round, inspirational, powerful South African.
Thank you.
Let's speak about your journey.
Yeah.
What drives you? From the beginning, what has driven you to the point that you are at now?
Yeah, I think the first thing that I'd like to say is I'm really proud of you. Really, really proud of you.
Just thanks, man.
Really proud of you. Honestly, like I just saw you come into the game. I watched the game. I'm a big fan of the game. I'm a big fan of new talent, both ladies, guys, actors, actresses, actors, presenters, DJs, musicians, producers. You know, I really, really watch the game from a bird's eye view, and I pick some people that I think I become a fan of those people. But you know, you're one of those people that I'm really proud of.
Thanks a lot, sir.
I definitely am sure that you're going far in the game.
Much appreciated. Much appreciated.
What inspires me? I think I'm inspired by the rich history that we have from Enokshi, Nekasi. And from Nangsese into Nekasi, you know, I've always been one of those people that want to make my hood proud. You know, I've always been outspoken, you know. And I believe in myself. I'm very vocal about what I believe in. So I've always been hungry to want to make my boys cheer me on and just to make my mom say, we are proud of you. But right now, you know, fast-tracking to over a decade later, I'm inspired by my child, my daughter.
What was the goal when you were back in the day?
I didn't. Like, you know, but I knew things were grand. I knew that I wouldn't settle for this. When I say this, it's Blomelia, Selections, Namachens, Akala. But we're enjoying live as a cast. You know, we look up to Amachita Kanga, Avangekarizi Grand, Amachita Koa Grand, Lukshin. And at the time, you know, there was no social media, there was no cell phones as it is right now. You didn't have that window to the world as to what is out there, what is going on out there. What you're familiar with is what you're seeing. Which is, other people call it poverty, but when we were growing up in Lokshin, it didn't seem like poverty. Normal. As much as I wanted that success and wanted to go back, I didn't think that I'd be where I am, DJ Sbu.
The DJ Sbu.
Well, not the DJ Sbu, but honestly, I think I've had a lot of successes in my life.
Yeah.
And I've had a lot of failures, of course, as well, but I didn't think that I'd be this big.
Okay, now we understand the psyche behind it all. Let's speak about the actual journey. How did it lead up to the point where you are right now?
The journey started from, I'd say, Benkelezosins Central, which was a boarding school, a social nguve, at my age. Boarding school boy, I went through the initiation process. Yeah. I did all I could. You know, I paid my dues, you know, and just being on campus, getting introduced to tennis, and also being independent, getting, you know, exposed to how the world is out there, meeting other kids from all over the country, different provinces, including kids from outside of the country, really opened me up to a lot of things. And little did I know that I'd do well in tennis and start traveling the country and start getting exposed to a whole lot of other people and how the world is out there. You know how it is when you start traveling.
Absolutely.
But I always attribute my success to tennis because it kept me away from a lot of nonsense. But then my journey went on to me matriculating and falling in love with music, starting at a community radio station at Casa Tembisa and moving on to Evets Tech at the time, which is now called UJ. There was a campus radio called Channel T, and then I became a part of the campus radio station. While I was part of the campus radio station, while I was studying simultaneously, there was a new radio station opening up. It wasn't far from my campus. I was at the Doornfontein campus, so I'd walk all the way down to Petram's where YM was, and I started befriending the DJs. I started taking my demo tapes there, which was tough. I couldn't get a gig until I eventually heard about the Tropica Voice of the Future competition, which is I entered that and I became runner-up. It was run by a guy called Natty Nice, who's now a music compiler at Kai FM. But I didn't win the competition, but becoming a runner-up sort of said to me, I've got potential. That's basically how I got my first break. And 3 months later, they gave me an opportunity to do a graveyard slot. So in Spanish,
Yeah.
And then they started having a little bit of a faith in me. They started getting me to stand in for Abo Fejo, for Abo Fresh, for Abo Semiti. And then I started becoming my voice, because my voice was distinct. People used to
Absolutely.
ask, who's this guy? And I think that's basically how I started my journey.
Now, with success definitely comes a lot of haters. I mean, for the longest time, and we can definitely say, in this country, nobody has not had a discussion about DJ Spoo. Questions arise, are you spreading yourself too thin? Is it legit? How do you feel about these conversations that go around about you?
See, one thing you need to understand that I'm a leader, so I don't feel anyhow. So what people say or do, they're reacting to what I've done. I don't know if you get that, I'll say that again. So what people say or do is reacting to what I've done.
Yes.
So, and this is what I always encourage people to do. Do. And then let them say. And then which is fine. I mean, I also don't get mad at people when they're angry with me or when they're criticizing me or when they're opposing me on different views, whether it's political views, whether they're criticizing Mo Fire, whether they're saying I shouldn't have said this and that on air, or whether I should. It's you are living in a democratic country. Everybody's opinion is allowed. And I acknowledge that and I understand that. I think it's just that drive that I've always told you about, where I don't care what people say. I just want to achieve more. I know where I'm going. I'm smart. I'm educated, I've got a dream, I've got a vision, I've got things to achieve. And all the way to this, what you're seeing right now is me putting myself in a position where I've always sat on a chair, been given a paycheck to attract numbers for the station and get paid a paycheck at the end of the month, but I don't know how much that how much they're getting out of my contribution to the station. And the game is changing and there's advancement or the emergence of technology and social media. Broadcasting is done differently now. The way people consume media is different. People don't buy newspapers as much as they used to on Sunday mornings because they've seen everything on social media. Why must I go buy a newspaper? Newspapers are dying and things are changing, and we also as broadcasters, especially the guys that are in the forefront, have to make it easier for the guys that are coming behind us to say, hey, we can't only just be employees here. We want a cut of the advertising revenue that you guys are getting. Sure. And that's basically what we're doing.
At this point in your life, do you still have goals and aspirations? What are you still trying to do?
I mean, I think I'm building my own leading beverages company globally. I mean, we all know the biggest brand in the world. I'm building my own. I don't think there's ever any black people that have tried doing that. Initially, people thought I was building an energy drink brand, but little did people know that I'm building my own energy drink, my own water, my own carbonated drinks, my own juices, my own healthy drinks.
Right.
And I'm obviously also want to branch into alcohol as well. That's my current project.
Let's get to some fun stuff now. Besides me, who would you choose to play you in a movie about DJ Spoo?
How did you know that I'd actually choose you?
Because, you know, telepathic, me and you.
You gotta be serious. No, but you gotta be, are you serious?
Yeah.
No. Without joking, by the way, it's for real.
For real?
No, so what I was saying to you, I've been watching your career for some time. I definitely choose you, but besides you, I think I'd choose, there's a boy called Rupalance. I think he's an amazing actor. He is the future. I've always loved Lungile Radu's acting.
All right.
I've always been a fan of his work. So Lungile, yourself, for now I think I'll leave it there.
Okay. I'm glad that they're all local.
Yeah, sure, of course.
What's your favorite song right now?
My favorite song right now is Corruption by K.O.
Oh, dope. Are you a fast driver or slow driver?
I used to be a fast driver. I'm a slow driver now, maybe because I'm a father and you're always thinking about your daughter. Every time that I'm size 13, every time that size 13 goes, let me just slow down.
Do you prefer a night indoors or a night outside?
A night indoors. Nomuntu fresh omuhle.
Eish.
Onuka kamnandi.
Unayo la?
No, anginaye.
Because you know I'm going to ask you to buy.
I know. No, I don't have, but honestly, I don't have it.
Well, on that note,
Time will come, sure.
thank you so much for letting us into your space. You're doing amazing work.
Thank you.
And thank you for always giving us a chance to get into Usbuda, man.
And thank you, and I really wish you well. Shout outs to you and shout outs to the production company and the channel. This is home, by the way, SABC. You know I'm home. You know I'm home. You know I'm coming back, right? I'm going to come back soon. Sooner than you think. This is my show. Mzansi Insider, thank you very much for watching. That was DJ Spoo hanging out with Kaz on the...
Okay, yo, they calling me the realest artist to drop. They feeling the other lot, and they thinking I'm killing it, but I'm still in the starting block. Cause I'm bringing the fresh cuts like I've been in the barbershop. It's feeling like I'm in the building, I'm still in the parking lot. It's been a minute since I dropped, and they're listening how to cop it. Figuring how to block me, but they got limited options. Haven't taken my shot, and they thinking I've hit the target. This isn't even the start, and they thinking of how to stop it. They panic when they see me coming, swimming like a shark fin. Mad when they see me running like women in stockings. They think the Navy is full sprint, I'm just jogging.
Yo, here fitile Peloton of yet another epic episode right here, Mzansi Insider. Kitaparo, you've learned a thing or two, and you've had a great time just like we have, yeah?
Yes, we hope you definitely did enjoy the show. You know we always bring in the heat. Never get landed lie. We'll be in the building doing what we do best. But from this fashion corner to yours.
Can I say the line they always say on TV?
What?
Same time, same place next week. We see you, we love you.